Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to do some simple technical analysis with support and resistance. It's very easy. So basically, when you look here on the screen, I got the ES, also known as the S&P 500 futures. This is just a very liquid stock. You can trade the SPY. It's an ETF of this. It's very liquid. Something you can trade intraday, whether you're trading options or you're trading just shares of it. Regardless, you could play this, and it's something decent to play on a regular basis. Now, there's days of consolidation, but that's neither here nor there. At this point, I'm just going to show you exactly how you want to chart out something like this, and different situations and how you can capitalize off of this. All right, so right now I'm here on a daily, and on a daily, this is typically like a high time frame. It's a very high time frame. Obviously, you go weekly, monthly, yearly, but I start off most likely like on a weekly, just to get like really clear points on the chart. So what you want to do is you want to just come over here and get out your actual drawing tool. It's going to be your price level. And so basically what I do is I look for the highs and I look for the lows, right? So if I look at this on a long term, you just see a huge uptrend. We'll get into that when it comes to trend lines, but basically going to look for support and resistance. Where is it supported and where is it resisting? I'm going to start with like the intraday shit. That's very close. So right here, you see this high right here. It's a good high to put on. So basically, the way you want to look at this is like, you see here where it tops out here. At this point in time, we're rallying. You see it topped out there above 4,500, and then it sold off. And so what you want to realize is this is going to be a resistance. And now, as it sells off, you want to say, well, what's the nearest support? Which also, another thing to consider is support and resistance can become each other in certain situations. Regardless, duplicate it, and you want to look for the next nearest support or resistance in the past. Put the situation here. You see how close that got to hitting. So basically here was the past resistance as well. You see how it sold off on here, consolidated, and it broke out up, and then it hit here and confirmed it as support. Continued to rally, it topped out here, sold off, and it got very close to it. And we also have a psychological level here of 4,300 where it bounced off of, resulting in a rally, which eventually, over these few weeks, broke through this original all-time high. And then now we're in the situation we made new highs, and we're at 47.40.50 this week currently. So another way to play this in the future is to say, okay, look, we're topping out here. You don't want to just go long as we're up at these all-time highs. So what you want to do is just look at, say, well, where's the most nearest support, right? So obviously we have supports within here. We go to the daily real quick to see some smaller time supports. And as you can see here, we already confirmed this as support from whenever it broke out, consolidated over these days, and then it confirmed it again, and then rallied out. So another thing I'll do is I'll duplicate this and look for the next point. Get the best thing to do is get it paired up to your OHLC so you can actually have it lock in. So look here, now we topped out here and we didn't nearly test it. We sold off and came back up to retest it, consolidate. We broke out on top of it, but we got rejected and came back down in this day, and now we're right here. So really the next thing I'll say is to look for a retest and see if it could break out and confirm on top with volume and continue to the upside. If it can't, you want to see it reject and have high volume to the downside, and you can target shorts right under this line if it's continuously touching and not rallying. So basically from there, I look at it and I say, okay, well, what's another support that we got coming up close? You see, this is just a nice rally, and then here, boom, another support. Right here, you can see it touched the most, so I'll put this as a support. Come over here to that low there. That's another little support intraday. As you can see, you know, it broke down and it keeps holding this line. It rallies up, breaks out, tries, and then from here we're really just consolidating. You're gonna want to see a break to the upside or a break to the downside. Now, depending on how you want to trade, everyone trades a little bit different. Everyone looks at things a slight bit different. But you know, this is the low. This is the most recent swing low. What you want to say is like, okay, if it breaks down here, comes up and confirms it as resistance, then you can see a sell-off. But you can start with this line as well, because this line's been tested more than this one single point. You go down to lower time frame, like an 8 hour. Even take off that shit there, and you can see how the volume is going with the candles as well. So you see this here. You see a higher volume when it sells off, lower volume as it consolidates, sells off more, you get higher volume. A lot of volume this day when it got brought back up above this line. You see how it consolidates there. Eventually it rallies through, consolidates, gets close to attacking this line, but it doesn't hit it, sells off, rallies through, reversal, boom, and it just continuously is attempting. There's a lot of buyers trying to push this up, but then the sellers came through and pushed it back down over these 8 hour time frames. See it sell off, and it's just consolidating here. This is where you don't want to be trading. You want to just watch it here. Right here is where you want to say, okay, is it going to break this high or is it going to break this low? And that's whenever you can really make a big decision to say, okay, I'll go long here, or I'll go short here, or you know, short or long wherever, just depending on the price action. And from there, you can look at it intraday, look at it like on a 15-minute, and you see how it just rejected here. You know, right now, if you want to do an intraday trade, you don't want to trade off of any of these lines until they're broken and confirmed as support or resistance. And this line right here, I would make it thicker because this is definitely a major point, what I'd call a key level. I'd call it, you know, these are both key levels, but they're more lower time frame key levels. This is a high time frame key level that I would really focus on to see if it breaks or if it holds. You know, and a hold of this line is definitely important, from my opinion, to say let's go long and let's see where we go out. And obviously, depending on how you trade, you could have a stop loss as well with whatever you're comfortable with losing, or whatever logically makes sense for this stock to pull back. And so basically that confirms my first lesson on support and resistance.